was not a good game last night for the New England Patriots as they were blown out by the Giants 42-10, and they decided this morning, well, we're going to make a whole bunch of roster cuts before cut down day on Tuesday. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. And just in case you missed last night's game, if you missed our watch party, which it wasn't a fun one on the field, but it was a fun one on the stream, shout out to everybody that joined in. Yeah, not good. 42-10. 31 starters or 31 players sat for the Patriots, and we saw a lot of guys playing that was kind of fighting for a roster spot, and a lot of them, well, they did not make the team after that one. 14 roster cuts, ladies and gentlemen, and here are 10 of them. We'll break down 4 of them because some of them I was a bit surprised about. You saw our RJ Moten, Micah Bernard, Phil Lutz, and there's not a picture for Phil Lutz because he was an undrafted free agent out of the University of Delaware. Shout out the Blue Hens. Kyle Pecco, Cole Fotheringham, Shane Watts. You saw him last night a lot on the field. Solid performance, but he might get to the practice squad. Philip Bleedy, Monty Rice, Isaiah Bolden was a big one, and Jordan Polk. And I'll got to say, Jordan Polk got absolutely cooked on the field last night. Little Jordan Humphrey made him look like a JV player on the field. So Mike Vrabel, he decided, all right, he's going to get the boot. That's 10 of the 14, and we got a lot more coming. It's going to get hectic until Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when you got to cut down to 53 men. And I'll just say, we got you covered here on Patriots Today. They had 14 roster cuts, and I immediately got on. I had a winners and losers video scripted out. We were going to talk about it. Nope. Immediately shifted to cuts. So we got you covered. Make sure you subscribe today. All right, 2 of the guys that were kind of they were on the bubble. They couldn't make the team, and I figured, well, might as well go over both of them. It's guard CeeDee So and guard Tyrese Robinson. And we'll start with CeeDee So. I mean, he was with the Patriots last year. He played in 10 games, only allowed 1 sack, but when you're a guard, you don't let up as many sacks. And it was kind of, once you saw from in the spring, his production absolutely declined, and we saw him drop below Jared Wilson, drop below Cole Strange, drop below Ben Brown, and his roster spot was pretty much in jeopardy. And I just want to show his stats from last night's game. He played in a bunch. He played in the second half, and you can see the PFF grades. Not good. 24.9 overall grade. Yeah, that's not a typo, ladies and gentlemen. That is not a typo. 0.0, a run block grade of 30.4. He allowed 3 pressures. Ben Wooldridge was on his ass all night. And then good one, no penalty, so I'll give him that one. But I've never in my life seen a PFF grade of 0. How is that possible? You're telling me that he couldn't get a 10? What is going on here? It was clear that he was going to get cut. And now we got also and there was another guy because we had Tyrese Robinson, who I thought was a really, really top candidate to make this roster. And he didn't play much last year. He was on the Patriots practice squad after getting cut. I think it was the Minnesota Vikings. You bring him in to just try to help this offensive line as much as possible. And Tyrese Robinson, unfortunately, was not productive. There was a point where you really thought that he could have been the starting left guard to go into the season. When we came into OTAs and minicamp back in the spring, he was getting starting left guard reps. And it was between him and Cole Strange. And then once Jared Wilson came in training camp, it was immediately, all right, you're our starter, and he is dropping back. And immediately, obviously, you saw him later get cut. And here's what the depth chart looks like now. And what does this mean for Cole Strange? Does this mean, that is the biggest question mark that I had. And we saw him a little bit on the field. He did not look good. He let up a holding penalty at the 1-yard line. The Patriots were at the 1, and he was playing center, and he had the worst holding call that I've ever seen. No, not that was a bad holding call. No, he immediately let the defender, whoever the Giants' nose tackle was, get right through the line of scrimmage, and he just held him because Shane Watts was trying to get into the end zone. Immediately drops back 10 yards, and then you see him, and then the Patriots end up settling for a field goal. Wasn't good for Cole Strange. I thought, okay, that was it for him. But now that you cut 2 guards and you just have Wilson, you have Ben Brown who could rotate into left guard position, does this mean Cole Strange has made the roster? I guess we'll find out. I don't know. But I'll ask you guys, because I was a little surprised here. Are you surprised Tyrese Robinson was cut? Type Y for yes down in the comments or type your N for no. I mean, nothing really shocks me with the Patriots, but I thought that he was probably going to probably be on the 53-man roster. Not get any starter minutes, but I expected to just him be on the team. We're going to break down 2 more cut candidates, and one of these guys was absolutely hyped by the Patriots all last year. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. Preseason football is underway, and college football literally starts tomorrow. So don't miss any of the action this season on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. I decided to put my sports opinions to the test. And you guys, if you tuned into the watch party last night, you saw this lineup. But it's not for a game. You have a max discount from Prize Picks on Dak Prescott for week 1. The more on passing yards, just needs 1. The more on Drake May, 19.5 passing touchdowns. And the more for Stephon Diggs, 735.5 receiving yards. You can make a lineup just like that one if you download the Prize Picks app and you use code CLNS. And you can get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. The link, if you want to download Prize Picks, will be in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, run your game. All right. So there was a guy that was being hyped up by the Patriots for the past year. Number 88, Jaheim Bell. And I was seeing just all last year, he's going to be the tight end of the future. He could possibly take Austin Hooper's spot. Well, since then, he's immediately just fallen down, and he fell out of the depth chart. He was behind G. Scott. He was behind Cole Fotheringham. We didn't see him at all at tight end. Well, now he got the boot, and he is now cut. So here's your tight end depth chart so far. Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper. I expect G. Scott to get cut. I expect C.J. Dupree to get cut and maybe be put on the practice squad. But, yeah, I mean, this was really the writing on the wall for Jaheim Bell. It was looking in OTAs and minicamp, maybe he could kind of break out, be that third tight end. But as we saw, he wasn't being productive. You didn't really see him getting any reps with Drake May. You didn't see him getting any reps with Josh Dobbs. He just kind of was there. They moved him to special teams to see how things would go, and it did not work out. So he later gets the boot. But I'll say, I don't know if the Patriots are going to keep 3 tight ends. A lot of these roster projections from these beat reporters say that they're only going to keep 2. But I kind of expect with Josh McDaniels to come back that they're going to bring back the fullback position. And Jack Westover has been playing fullback all throughout the offseason once training camp has started. We have seen him also play fullback against the Commanders, against the Vikings, against the Giants. And he played decently last night. I mean, one catch. He only had 2 targets, 1 catch for 5 yards from Ben Wooldridge. And we'll get to Ben Wooldridge in a second. Wink, wink, nod, nod. But 70.2 pass blocking grade. Like, if you want a guy that can also block and pass catch and also play the fullback position as an athlete, you see 6'2", 245. That is your perfect guy for being a fullback. And I think if the Patriots are going to keep a fullback on this roster, it's going to be Jack Westover making the team. If not, you will see him cut by Tuesday. And then the last roster cut, I mean, I don't think this was a surprise to anyone. When you saw that Josh Dobbs did not play at all, the writing was also on the wall for Ben Wooldridge, and he got the boot. He was cut, and it wasn't a good outing for him. He had a great fade route for a touchdown, which I thought was cool, to Jeremiah Webb, who did not get cut right away. There's still a possibility that he can make this roster, but 10 for 20, 82 yards, a touchdown, and a bad pick 6. And right after I saw that, I immediately said, all right, you're done. But he was not good. He had, I think it was like 3 drives into the game, and the Patriots had 6 yards passing, and the Giants had over 100. It was not good for him to start. He got a little bit of rhythm, a nice 2-minute drill, but the second half came. Like, you play all 4 quarters, and you can't get 100 yards passing. That's kind of pathetic, in my opinion. And then the pick six, he dropped back, stared down his receiver, and then immediately threw it over the middle. And right when he threw it, I said, oh, pick six. You can go back and watch the watch party. I said, oh, he's going for six. Like, he's a rookie, and he's out of Louisiana. But I would say I think he's going to stay with the Patriots organization. And I expect the Patriots this was the whole entire plan. They're going to keep two quarterbacks on the roster. It's what they've done so many times before. But he will go to the practice squad and have him as that emergency third quarterback. Just in case Drake May gets hurt, Josh Dobbs gets hurt, he will be the emergency third quarterback on this roster. Not a surprise to me. I said he's going to be the practice squad guy on every single one of my videos, but there was a couple of surprises. I mean, not Jaheim Bell. I was really surprised about Tyrese Robinson. You go down in the comments and name a surprise Patriots cut. It doesn't have to happen yet. If you think Javon Baker's going to get cut, go and let me know down in the comments section. It could be anybody who's going to be a surprise cut candidate for the Patriots. Now we got 77 players left on the roster after 14 were cut. The Patriots still have to, I think I did the math completely wrong in there. 77 players, that is about 24. You got to make 24 cuts, not 22, to make before Tuesday at 4 p.m. 24 cuts. And that's why we got you covered with every single roster cut. If it happens, we got you covered. I'll either make a short, a video, something like this. You will know. And that's why you subscribe to Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Brett Alper. And as always, let's go Pats.